Happy Election Day, Canadians! It is time, it has come. Today will be the day where we finally choose a new Prime Minister for the country. Now, I think everyone has, come to the conclusion here that this is a toss-up between Pierre Poilievre from the Conservative government or Mark Carney from the Liberal government, the reigning champion right now.
Yeah, you kind of predicted that, right? That it would be the Conservatives versus the Liberals.
Well, yeah, and so...
Which I guess is, for some people, sort of obvious, but...
As this it seems like it's been a long race, even though it's actually only been about a month. But it's coming to a conclusion now. The guys are doing their last, rallies, putting their last few words out there. But so basically, I thought it would be good to just see a little bit of a soundbite from each guy. There maybe a little promise or a little bit of what they have to say to the people, and then we can unpack it, talk about it, and yeah.
I actually talked to somebody that recently went to a Poilievre speaking out in Saskatoon or something like that.
Yeah?
And said that some guy in the middle of it stood up and started talking about supporting Palestine or something, and they threw him out.
Oh, jeez.
That's how it was kind of reiterated, I think, to me.
Yeah.
Well, oh, wow.
It happens. It's common. I've seen it in a bunch of the rallies from both sides. People, they see it as a good time to protest. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at these clips and then get into it.
Hope and change are necessary to bring our country forward and to restore the Canadian promise. The promise that was made to me as a small child growing up in this city. A promise that was made to every single person born here or who arrived here. That anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. That hard work gets you a beautiful life and an affordable home in a safe street, protected by brave police and soldiers under a proud Canadian flag. We need change, my friends. Let's bring it home.
I need your help. I need your help. On Monday, the people of London, the people of southwestern Ontario could decide who's Canada's Prime Minister. There are 3 days. Only 3 days left in this campaign. To use a hockey analogy, there are 3 minutes left in the third period of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It is time to leave everything on the ice. That means I need you to knock on even a few more doors, a few more phones to pull the goal. Don't pull the goal. I'm the goalie. Don't pull the goal. No, wait. To pull the goalie, we have to. I'm confused. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We need more phone calls. We need you to talk to your friends and neighbors. Anything. Above all, we need you to vote Liberal so I can protect the values we share, so we can stand up to Donald Trump, so we can build a united Canada, so we can build Canada strong. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
There you have it. All right, there's some of the last words on our end here that we'll show for this election race. We've done a few videos now. Mostly probably for me. You're being nice to me because I like doing some politics every now and then. I like to just have my little say there. But it got me thinking. Every time we get into these electoral races and it comes down to the end, I always like to do like a little thing where I say, just remember where you are right now. If you're excited, if you're the team that wins and you're all excited and jazzed about your team winning, just take note of that and see where your life is a few months down the road. Maybe, 5, 6, 7, 8 months down the road, and see how you still feel about it. And if you're the person that lost the election and you're feeling really bad about it and you're depressed, just wait a few months and see what happens. These things always seem to have a way of kind of like working them way out. I'm really not concerned about who wins this race. Obviously, I have like the person that I'm going to vote for who I think's best. But if they don't win, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Profoundly wise.
Yeah.
A+ sticker. I love that. If you win, assess your life several months from then.
Yeah.
Because there's a mob mentality. It really isn't that new. There's people and Americans and Canadians being, this is the guy. And sometimes over a little bit of time, even when it's their guy, they get in there like, piece of shit. I don't, you know what I mean? Or there's a crisis because I can't admit that was not right, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Well, think about it in the States. I wonder how many people in the United States, now that Trump's been in power for a few months, are having second thoughts. Like,
it's your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I reluctantly participate to the degree I do in politics. I think about something. I'm going to take it and do like a hyper dark area real quick. Can I do that? Okay, take it somewhere really dark.
Be gentle.
I watched a video essay recently on this guy who, he was a YouTuber I actually followed, and then I'm not going to get too specific, but his life was met with like some suspicion of controversial personal life, and it was dragged out into the open, and this guy's like moral character was put on trial for judgment, and the internet ate him alive. They what do you call it when you dox them?
Oh yeah, dox them, tell them where they live and all that stuff.
I don't know if that's what they did, but they, whatever the term is for, like, everybody threw the moral book at this guy. As time went on, it cost him his position in social media. It alienated him. His partner in online, I think, like, moved away from him, and this guy got really alienated, and he what do you call it? What's the PC way of saying he ended himself? He
ended his life.
He ended his life. And then afterwards, this video was like really breaking down the cycle of what happened. And in the end, it became a talking point for people, being like, careful with this social bullying. You guys drove this guy to commit suicide, and certain things weren't even as you thought they were. Like you gang beat this guy to death now. And then he pointed out that some of the people historically, through tweets and stuff like that, through, I don't know, some kind of search engine, found that some of the people that were giving this guy a hard time in his death were championing actually take it easy on people because it can cause serious problem and cause them to kill themselves. Like, they switched.
Yeah.
And this is the nature of reality, and there is a mature adult way of going, well, that's kind of just how it is, man. What are you saying? What would it be better to be stubborn and not be able to change? People should have the ability to change. I agree. I do think that you should be able to, within your lifetime, be a conservative at times. And if the things change I'm actually liberal and now I'm a conservative again. I think you do have the right to change your mind about things.
Yeah.
We're looking at signs right now that say change all over them. But be careful, because a lot of things that say change are the same shit repackaged over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So you'll notice when I was looking at that, I'm making all kinds of faces, because I'm not big on politics. Anything that has mass appeal, I've quoted studies regarding the collective IQ and stuff like that before, and I don't want to get mean about it. Let's take IQ and intelligence right out of it. Forget it. But the nature of man can be collective in all kinds of like diluted ways. And there's lots of people where it's in one ear and out. That's fine. They're doing their own thing. I'm not trying to lay judgment. But if you are wise, if you are intelligent, and you do have the capacity to think a little deeper beyond what's served to you on a dish that you're supposed to believe, do what James said and assess the situation over time. And then take a stark look at what the reality of these politics are really doing, the change that they claim. The real change that actually happens, and does it obliterate all your problems? Have you ever had a point in your life where all your problems are friggin', you don't have not even one problem?
Never. There's
and
always
if it
going to
is
be
that
another problem right around the corner.
And if it is that, are you is that just cool, or are you all of a sudden covetous of your own situation and worried that it's not going to last?
Yeah.
Look at these tricky aspects of personality and mind and preference and self-bias.
It's so interconnected, right? It'll be fascinating to see what happens after this. I do have a prediction about like, despite who wins in this next election, I have a feeling that the people who are constantly, ranting and raving about how poor things are, I have a suspicion that they're going to go after the provincial leaders after this. I think Trudeau took so much for so long. Trudeau took so much heat for the last, 5 years at least, was taking so much heat, and now he's gone and there's no one left to point a finger at. And when this is done, everyone likes to have something to point a finger at. And all those provincial leaders you're all next. I'm telling you, because a lot of the problems that you think are federal are provincial. And so
don't tell me not to point a finger. Don't you be telling me not to. And you see how well I point a finger.
Yeah.
You better be able to be manipulated by me. You fear me a little bit, right? Like, you are uncomfortable in my presence, all right? Mm-hmm. Who's going to nod with me? Okay, let's nod together. Yeah, we're a thing, and you should feel outsider and weird. Mm-hmm. Social politics, not my jam. But I'm not into it, not into this melodrama.
On a positive note, let's leave it on a positive note.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think despite who wins this, they have an opportunity ahead of them, right? Going into the future to, some people have talked about reimagining Canada, while others I know they've got the change slogans. Whoever gets in power, you have an opportunity to do something good. So please, like, when you do good, take everyone into account, not just the people that, support your team. And, hopefully...
It's a demagogue, right? Yeah. Isn't a demagogue somebody that says what the people are like, we want this. And a demagogue's like, okay, I will get you that. Mm-hmm. Or like they acquiesce to the cries of what seems to be the popular thing. So I don't know with either of these.
Do they lie to them and not give it to them, or do they actually follow through and give it to them?
Do politicians not give everything they promise sometimes?
All the time.
I don't know. It seems like almost bordering on rhetorical. But I'm saying, so yeah, like people, they've got cult of personality. I'm so disturbed by cult of personality. That person looks like appealing to me, so I trust what they say because they look like something I like to look at.
Yeah.
That's just be aware of that crap, man. And some people go, no, I'm not going to be aware of it. I'm not. And I'm going to continue in my ignorance. And blessed be. Yeah. Life is all the ingredients you need through trial and error and experience to give you wisdom by the end of the day.
Yeah. There's you're not alone out there. There's a lot of countries going through the similar, hurdles that we face here in this country. And I see what's happening in the world as we're starting to kind of unite with the states, the way they've been acting lately. I feel like it's actually brought in a little bit more unity around the world in places where it never existed before, opening up new conversations, new avenues for like dealing with things. So this could all be the start of something great, and I'm gonna hopefully, leave it in that zeitgeist. Hopefully we can all propel into something a little bit better, but hopefully you enjoyed our little talk here, and congratulations to whoever wins the election. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone till next time,
stay spiritual.